Hi there, Pastor Lanre here. Welcome to another exciting episode of Pastor Lanre Uncensored. Today I want to address something that I think is important. You see, when people get into relationships or they get married, there are all these things that people are told. So today I want to deal with some of the lies we were told about relationships and about marriage. But before we get into that, let us enjoy the music ministry of the anointed Mercy Uduma.
I don't want to sing the latest song. I don't want to percolate the crowd. I just want to make you smile. I don't care who thinks I'm right or wrong, and I don't care who tries to calm me down. I just want to praise you now. I don't have to listen for my name. They don't have to walk me down the aisle. I just want to make you right. Hallelujah. Should I make the whole affair or the save a special sweet? I just hope that you be pleased. For you covered me in the midst of it all. You loved me. You gave me another chance. You saw my needs when others saw my faults. You forgave me. Yeah. One more time. You covered me in the midst of all my shame. You love me, Jesus. You rescued me. You rescued me when I thought I was going to fall. You saved me. So in my life, be glorified, Father, be glorified. In my life, be glorified, be glorified. You get the glory, you get the honor and the praise. Thank you. Take me glory,
Welcome back. That was such a powerful ministration from Mercy Uduma. All right, back to what I want to discuss with us today. Today I want to talk about some of the lies, myths, or misconceptions, or even assumptions that we were told about marriage, about relationships. All right, so let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is it is okay. It is okay to live together before marriage. Now, in many cultures, this is something that is even cultural. People say it is okay. Interestingly, this has found its way even into Christianity as we know it today, especially within the context of the African culture. People want to live together to kind of test what it will feel like being married to the person. And they say things like it is okay to live together before marriage because they want to find out whether they are compatible with the person that they want to marry. And you know, what I find interesting is the points the things that people want to find out. I find it interesting. So they say things like, I need to find out whether she can cook, whether she can tidy up the house, can she keep a house clean, and she wants to know whether he snores or whether his fart smells. Really, are these really important things? Do you really need to live with somebody to be able to find out many of these things? Really. Let's look at it. All right, let's look at it. Whose fart does not smell? Really, at some point or the other, whose fart does not smell? And who told you that there are not medical interventions to use for snoring? If someone is snoring, maybe it's habitual, maybe it's the way they keep their head, maybe it's sleep apnea. There are several things that make people make those noises when they sleep. And there are medical interventions for them. You want to find out whether she cooks. Who told you that people can get better at cooking? Does she have to live with you? Do you have to cohabit to find out whether she can cook? Even if she can learn how to cook. People get better at things. Then there's all the other argument of, oh, I need to know whether she can tidy up the house and all of that. Well, two things. If tidying up the house is a big deal for you, truth is people can learn stuff. People can get better at stuff. And if you truly love her, get her a maid. All right, so you don't ever have to bother about tidying up. And if you can afford a maid, the truth is that the person can learn. I find it interesting that people spend most of their courting years living together, trying to ascertain some of these things. And you just have to ask yourself the real question, and the real question is, do we have to live together before you can find out some of these things? I don't think so. And I think because we allow these things to cloud our judgment, the more important things are not dealt with. The more important things like, do we have shared values? Do we believe in the same thing? Our worldview, does it have a place where it comes together? The spiritual and mental health of the person, the things that you should take time to decipher. Does the person have a vision? Do we have places where our visions interface? These are more important things than does she know how to cook? Does he snore? Someone says, oh, how do I know whether his mouth smells in the morning? All of those things are things that can be developed. Don't ever forget that marriage, like we said, and this I'm addressing singles now. Marriage really is a journey of discovery. It's a journey of discovery. I feel there are many other things to focus on besides some of these things. Good character, integrity, compassion. Does the person have focus? Can they focus on what is at hand? Can you work together? These are more important things that you can look out for, and not some of these mundane things that we are the ones that have given these things the importance and make them look like they are non-negotiables. But I believe that there are different things. And let me talk about the big one. The big one, one of the main reasons why people want to live together is so that they can be having sex before they absolutely and totally contract the marriage. And you hear things like, how do I know if the person is like this, if we don't live together and we don't test this? People even take it as far as saying, you need to get pregnant for me so that I can know that you can get pregnant. Now, if you are an unbeliever, that may be okay. But if you are a child of God, it is totally outside all the parameters that the Word of God gives us. Totally outside it. So it shouldn't be something that even comes up. Get pregnant for me so that I can know that you are fertile. It's not even something that we should consider. this is one of those things that should not be mentioned amongst us as believers and as Christians. Now, with the issue of sex, you know, as a younger guy, you talk to guys, and at times when you talk to men, some of them almost make you feel like sex, the ability to have sex is like a gift or a talent, like you are born with it. But the truth is that is not totally true. There is nothing that cannot be learned. There's nothing that you cannot get better at. Even sex. Don't forget, the journey of marriage is a journey of discovery. It's a journey of discovery, and you can learn from one another, and you can get better as time goes by. All right, so I've dealt with that. Let me see another one. Another of the things we were told that may not be totally true. Okay, yes. There is this issue of there is only one person for you. And that comes into play when we're talking about, who is the perfect will of God? Who is the permissible will of God? There's only one person that God has made for you. You only have one bone of your bone and one flesh of your flesh. Now, the truth is this. I don't think that God is a wicked God. Just for the mere fact that I may consider someone the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, and it is quite possible that that person does not consider me the flesh of their flesh or the bone of their bone. I may feel that this is the person that God desires for me to be with, and the person does not think the same thing. So does it mean that I spend my whole lifetime waiting or praying for their spouses to die? Do you know that if their spouse can die and they still refuse to be yours? And we don't pray that that happens to anybody. You know, so in those kind of cases, is it really the kind of thing that you think God will do? Let me give you another example. On the surface of the earth today, there are possibly 7 billion people. Possibly 7 billion people. Already, the ratio of men to women is not the same. Not to talk of all the other brackets that people fall into. The ratio of men to women of the same marriageable age. The ratio of men to women who share the same value. The ratio of men to women who are of the same faith. All of these things are skewed. So if you want to stay on the point where you're saying that there's only one person for one person, and it just is not going to work. And I don't think that God is the author of confusion. I think you should prayerfully consider, seek counsel. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Even the concept of finding by itself means you are looking through a bunch. You are looking through several options to eventually find the one that will suit you. So I think we should prayerfully, when we're in that place, we should pray about it whilst we prayerfully consider the options before you, and you choose. And the Lord will bless you. Because there are many things to consider. You want to look for someone who shares your values, where there can be mutual respect, there can be some level of attraction, etc. There are different things to look out for when you are seeking for a mate. Someone who can be your friend, someone that you can trust, someone that can be your partner in the journey of life. So those are important things that you want to consider whilst looking for a mate. All right. Another lie that we were told. That marriage is a cure for loneliness. Some people believe that, if only I get married, I will never be lonely again. And I find this interesting because people even say things like, God created Eve to cure the loneliness of Adam. They say things like, God saw that it was not good for man to be alone, and so he created Eve. Aloneness is totally different from loneliness. All right? I think God made Eve for Adam for companionship. not as a cure for loneliness. You know why? Because loneliness is a state of mind. Loneliness is a state of mind. It is the lack of a sense of connection to someone or to people. Not necessarily a lack of company. And this is an important concept to grasp, because it is the reason why people can even be married and still be lonely. Because loneliness is a state of mind, and it is a state of the lack of a sense of connection. So you can be in a marriage and still be lonely. Yes, it is true that if you are alone, it can exacerbate the feeling of loneliness. But that does not necessarily mean that marriage will cure your loneliness. In fact, if the truth were to be said, there are lots of people who are lonely in their marriages. All right? If you're still single, please do not allow the feelings of loneliness to overwhelm you. There are several people, family, your church family, friends, loved ones that you can connect with to help you bridge the gap of loneliness. Remember, loneliness really is a state of mind, and it is the lack of a sense of connection with someone or with other people. You know, many times the truth is that people are lonely because at times they don't have the social skills to connect with people. Now, this problem may sometimes stem out of lack of self-confidence or lack of self-esteem, or the fear of rejection. And these are all things that marriage can solve. Lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, fear of rejection. Marriage cannot solve that. And I also think it is unfair to put that weight on anybody. I think you will be disappointed. I think you may be disappointed if you want to use your spouse as a cure for your loneliness. Loneliness is something that you need to deal with even before the marriage or in the marriage. Your spouse can help you deal with loneliness, but they cannot be the cure for loneliness. All right, let me conclude this edition with this thought. Another lie, another thing that I feel is not true. Most people think that the presence of conflict is the absence of love. You hear things like, if you love me, why are we having this many disagreements? If we're truly in love, why are we having this many disagreements? I don't think it is true. The presence of love does not mean the absence of conflict. The question is, why do we have conflict? It's not because we don't love each other. It may be because there are situations that confront us and we want to address from different point of view. And this can be the reason for possible conflict. Some people are saying, if he loves me, if she loves me, why do they have a problem with my person? See, at times you must understand this. Who better than your spouse, really? Who better than your spouse to confront you about certain aspects of your life? This person is definitely on your side and wants you to be better. So it is important that you understand that the fact that you have disagreement, and disagreements can be gentle or they can be heated. Now, I'm not talking about verbal abuse. Neither am I talking about physical abuse. Now, that is not conflict. That has moved into a different realm. I'm talking about people having disagreement, and disagreement can either be gentle or it can be heated, but it is a disagreement. It is a source of conflict. All right? And the fact that that is present in your relationship or in your marriage does not mean that your spouse does not love you. You just need to find ways to resolve your conflict. How do you resolve your conflict? Learn to fight fairly. Communicate effectively. Know that the stuff that you are having the disagreement about ultimately should bring you together, not drive a wedge between you. All right? I hope that with these few points, you've been able to identify some of the lies we have been told, some of the misconceptions we have been told. In some subsequent episode, I hope to still be able to deal with other things that we have been told that may not be exactly so. Until I come your way next time, keep keeping on. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. God bless you.